Hello guys, it's Shrimp Time here, and yet we got another English language video. Today we are going to talk about do-it-yourself shrimp food that isn't expensive, that's quite cheap, and that should provide every food needs of our shrimps. But first of all, I would like to say thank you to Sebastian, which is my first Patreon on Patreon site. Thank you for giving me the idea that I can use this channel to have a little bit of support in developing my shrimp breeding facility and my shrimp hobby. So thank you, Sebastian. Thank you for your support. And I would like to encourage you to check out that site. I will think about something from Patreon. I will speak about this later, but I want to go back to our recipe and the main idea of the food. I use the coffee grinder to produce each and every of my components and to mix them, but I do not dry afterwards my food. I use the powder form, and when I'm giving this form to the shrimps, as you can see, it's a bit more solid because I mix it with a tank water. I think that this type of feeding idea might be better because I read some articles about the benefits of feeding shrimps with food that isn't totally dry out. Yeah, that isn't a pellet, that isn't a dried out chunk. So this is the reason why I decided not to dry after the production. And now we'll introduce our components. Soybeans, the first component. Dry out kale, the second one. Chlorella and Spiruline, the third and fourth one. Young barley, the fifth one. Aqua Magic Powder and Montmorillonite Powder. So now I will answer you why I use these types of ingredients and the amounts that I use. So 10 grams of soybeans. Why soybeans? Because soybeans is a great source of carbohydrates and of protein. I think this is a very good source for the shrimps, and soybeans contains a high amount relatively high amount of proteins. It's also a source of lipids, and it got a lot of vitamin B and K. It also contains magnesium, zinc, potassium, and iron. And I always grind for the powder, the soybeans. The second food source is kale, and the kale is mainly in my recipe for its high amount of calcium. This is the main source of calcium in this recipe. It also contains quite a lot of beta-carotene, so it's good for the coloration, especially red. And it also contains a lot of minerals and vitamins, especially vitamin A, vitamin C. It's a very big source of vitamin C, and vitamin K. It also contains lutein and main minerals, as I said, calcium, potassium, zinc, phosphorus, but especially calcium is the reason why I got kale in my recipe. And it's also 10 grams of kale. The third and fourth, spiruline and chlorella. So first of all, spiruline, very high amount of protein, about 50% of protein. It also is a great source of vitamin B, and it is also very often used in aquaculture. It also got some dyers that will help to develop the color in your shrimps, and it's a good source of iron and magnesium. As you know, iron is quite important for the blood. And the chlorella, it's a very high amount of lipids, and it's very high amount of proteins, and it's also a great source of vitamin D. Now, the young barley. Young barley is one of the source of beta carotene, and it's also a source of vitamins like vitamin C, E, B. It also contains folic acid, so I think that it can be quite beneficial, and it is also used in the production process due to the fermentation for the products like SL Aqua Magic Powder or Benibachi Bimax. And the last ingredients, we got SL Aqua Magic Powder. I think that this is very nice source of bacteria in this food that creates biofilm and that are used by the shrimps as a food. And the second is Mironecuten. You can use Montmorillonite powder as well. It's a source of minerals. Yeah, these are clays that contains a very high amount of different types of minerals, and it's used mainly for providing the minerals and for gluing the whole recipe. And this is how my food looks after grinding. As you can see, I grinded it to very small particles. And this is important because I read a lot of articles about the importance of providing, especially for young shrimps, the smallest particles of food that you can provide. Yeah, it can develop the speed of the growth. And here you can see how my shrimps loves the food. If you want to make the food more attractive for the shrimps, because mainly this food contains the plants, yeah? The protein source are the plants, the nutrition sources are the plants, and they got a little amount of bacteria, yeah? But if you want to make it more attractive for the shrimps, if you want to got this effect that shrimps overcome this food, you can add a bit of animal protein source, like let's say like dry out shrimps themselves, yeah, for example, or like using artemia, yeah, this type of source you can add about, or I don't know, I'm not sure, 5 grams, and it will be enough. And also I forgot to say, each of the components that I mentioned you got in the description, so you can check the amounts in the description. So let me know if you like this recipe, if you try it out, and if it works for you. And I hope that you enjoy and find benefits in my English language videos. Sorry, somebody told me don't say movies, say videos. So in my English language videos. And now I want to talk a bit about my Patreon site. It's under development. I need to find some time to make it beneficial for the people that will support. I have some ideas, but I need to prepare them. One of my idea is making a special dedicated products that will be released in close amount. For example, for the end of the year, and I want to share with Patreons those type of products. They will be limited. For example, a max with a special graphic, and there will be about, for example, if I got 20 Patreons that will support the channel, I will make 25 max of this type, and they will be produced never more in the history. This is my way to show you that I appreciate the help and the benefits I got from you. I also want to make a special Q&A or maybe support chat that you will be able to directly ask me questions about your tanks. So if you got some problems, I maybe will be able to help you out. And what I will do with the help I will get from you, I think that on Patreon there will be a special video about my history in shrimp keeping and about the way that I've got to the spot that I'm right now. And in that video, I think that I will show you the targets I want to achieve with your help and with the help of my little shrimp shop, and the way I want to go. So the support that I will get will be invested in the channel, in the development of my breeding facility, maybe a bit in my hardware, because I have some plans and to develop. I want to make online streams, and some of them will be dedicated for the patrons, yeah, so that we can develop our relation. I want to really appreciate the thing that somebody came across the idea. I'm speaking mainly about Sebastian, that asked me on last premiere, how can I support you? I never thought about that you can support someone just because he's making videos on YouTube, yeah. And that's great, you know. I think that seeing that thing, I feel appreciated for the things that I do, despite the fact that I never desire to get this type of appreciation. But it's important, yeah. You get more motivation. For example, thanks to that, I've posted this video about making do-it-yourself shrimp food. So thank you. Write in comments what do you think about this. Leave a like if you like the video. Subscribe, hit that bell, and to the next movie, or till the next movie. See you guys.